And we're live! Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Awful Goodness Show. It is your host, Jez. I think I'm echoing, but, well, it'll be fixed. Joining me tonight is the Midnight of Midian,
What up, motherfucker?
and he is Mexican but not related to El Chapo.
Oh, jeez.
Mega Arts.
Hello there.
So, gentlemen, how has our week been going? Cause we got a lot of stuff to go through. A lot of a lot of big stuff happened over the weekend. Oh, excuse me, and kind of tired me out. Well, I'm tired for other reasons, which I am not going to discuss. But my week was literally tiring trying to get my money into my bank account. You?
Hmm.
So, how was everyone else's weeks?
Ladies
Uh,
first.
all right, go ahead.
No, ladies first.
No, man, you can't see. That's not how it works. I already turned it around on you. You can't just repeat the same dab. You gotta at least come up with something new. Just tiring. I'm just exhausted, man. I'm exhausted in general. Maybe I should play the lottery or something. I don't know. Working on a bunch of stuff for Midnight Chrome, taking longer than I wanted. I really like using Midjourney. Like I like using the AI generated art. It's got a novel funness to it, but it's so frustrating how long it takes me to get anywhere near what I want. I have to do a whole bunch of I have to do a whole bunch of photo bashing to give it the real idea of what I want. And I would much rather hire human illustrators to do it because they will understand what I want much more easily.
But for example, this is something that one of my friends who makes a snoo ladies fan art told me that he cannot understand how many artists make a lot of AI art of those kind of girls, and they post dozens of pics every day.
They're not doing it with very specific demands. Do you know what I
Mm,
mean? Like it's
okay,
not like they're saying, "Show me." I don't know. Who's the MMA fighter again?
Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, thank you. Show me Ronda Rousey holding a barbell in her right hand and a sword in her left hand, and with a yellow Adidas T-shirt on
Wow.
at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's not what they're doing. They're doing like Ronda Rousey holding a sword, so and so style. They're not. They're not. They're accepting chaotic responses and not attempting to get specific ones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why they're getting so much stuff. And you can get if you don't have like specific things that you're trying to do, that's lots of fun. But there's nothing you can do with that. That's the thing that everybody freaking out about AI art needs a boot in the ass, man. It's not going to get useful art from a commercial perspective.
Okay.
As I said, my plan is to just type in the prompts and get something close to what my vision is and then toss it in Photoshop or GIMP or some other photo editor and try to style it to my precise
It took me,
liking.
well, see, it's going to be difficult, man. It took me like 4 hours last night to get. So one of the characters in a thing that I'm working on is like a futuristic cultist riding an HR Giger style motorcycle. In order to get anywhere near what I wanted, I had to start by finding photo reference of motorcycles that were close to the right design. I had
Uh
to
huh.
cut those out of their background in Photoshop. I had to take that into Mid-Journey and coax, because one thing that Mid-Journey does all the time also is it just crops shit. It'll just crop your
Mm.
shit. You'll give it a full reference and it'll just crop the fuck out of it. So you have to coax it to not give you a cropped one. Getting any sort of consistency between two images is very difficult. Then separately, I had to do a similar thing to get a similar look of the cultist that I wanted. Then I had to photo bash those two images together and generate it multiple times before I got the angle that I wanted. And it's like, for what I'm trying to do, it's a lot of work. Um,
Mm.
so, and it's not like you saw in Puppet Master and Marionette. It's not like it's great. It's just it's serviceable for what I'm trying to do, to try and lay a groundwork for certain things. It's not it's not threatening illustrators.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the whole AI angle because it kind of looks more distorted and maybe fantasy like what you're trying to get for the mood of Midnight Chrome.
What I like, one of the things I like about it is that it will toss things in there that I hadn't thought of, and I'm like, oh, that's an interesting idea. I can work with that.
Hmm.
It sort of pulls a little chaos, a little randomness and chaos into the idea that can be inspiring. But other than that, it's very difficult medium to work with. And forget about
Yeah.
having stylistic consistency between two separate images. Forget about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of get it because that happens when I like go through and try to figure out like what uh crap, like what type of sharks do I want for the thumbnail of the stream.
Oh,
Cause like if I put it in one AI generator, it turns out to look like toys, and the other like looks more like a painting. And then some
You
are just like
you can
bizarre
change style.
hordes.
You can change style, but again, you're dealing with a lot of randomness. Semi
Yeah.
randomness.
Hmm. Like when I tried doing that Elvis picture for last week, it was it looks like the shark is like growing out of his hand, his arm or something. You know what I mean?
I do know exactly what you mean. And then count the fingers.
Yep. Count the fingers.
oh yeah.
Uh, any anyways, let's let's get through all these news stories that I have because oh boy, what a week. What a week in news, I say. First, we need to highlight an issue. So from
Oh
that
yeah.
umbrella guy, the Edwin Boyett news is tragic. His house reportedly burned down, and his father-in-law was killed, along with his dogs, and they lost everything. And Mega, tell, can you elaborate who Edwin Boyett is?
Edwin Boyette, for those who don't know, was one of the uh, original members who were present when Comicsgate started to gain momentum back in 2017. He was nicknamed as the guru of Comicsgate back in the day, but at some point he started to have problems with people like Ethan Van Sciver and War Campaign, and as a result of that, he decided to drop Comicsgate altogether, and to a certain point became kind of hostile to the entire movement.
What
Yeah,
I
but
never
he,
remember, what is the source of the drama that happened around Edward Boyette? Because one day everybody loved him, the next day everybody's talking shit about him, and I never understood why.
I recall it was. similar to Mike's Miller, problems with work and pain.
Yeah, well,
I
just
recall
because
that.
he was,
No, go on, go on.
yeah, as I was saying, just because he was cool and then turned out to be an asshole doesn't mean we should laugh at his pain. So on the screen we have his GoFundMe, and you can, and if any viewers are here, click the link and toss him a couple bucks
Yeah, it's
if you
pretty
got
sad. I looked at the news article about that, and he lived in like a high rise. Man, he lived in the type of building I would never want to live in. It was one of those like dude, there were a lot of floors. There were more than there had to be like 20 floors to that thing, easy.
it. Oof.
Yeah. So a fire, and it looks like he lived higher up in the building. So he lost his father-in-law, both his dogs. I imagine that I don't know if he or his wife were home, but whoever was home was probably hurt. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little nervous about like trying to find rooms with in like tall buildings. Not only that, but I also live in a pretty earthquake prone area.
Yeah, I don't want to live anywhere that I can't jump out the window to safety.
Well, I'm currently living on like a second floor, so I mean, realistically, it could jump. It's just the
It would
cement
suck,
would
but
really hurt.
you'd be all right. That's the thing. It would suck, but you
Yeah.
would be all right. You might break a leg,
Mhm.
you might break something, but you would live. You would be fine. I,
And
I I think I once lived on a fifth floor, and I fucking hated it.
But one
mhm.
of the things the article mentions, and is important, is that apparently the building is extremely old and it doesn't have sprinkles.
Oh,
It's
the
from
sprinklers.
Yeah, it doesn't
they
have.
they have some sort of law that was passed in 75. I don't know if it was federal or Hawaii that said that buildings had to have sprinklers, but this building was built before that, and they never caught up to code. They had like 300 buildings that they gave some sort of you have to catch up to code thing years and years ago, and like 20 of them caught up. That's a problem.
Yeah,
Mhm. But yeah, the other. But yeah, also when I think of sprinklers, I just think of like how long they're like not in use, and then they spray like that gunk all everywhere first until the water. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. What gunk?
Like when sprinklers haven't been in use for a while, and uh when they finally work, they like first have to spray like all the like dust that's been gathering on
Oh, okay,
them.
got
oh,
it.
Yeah.
well, supposedly the people who handle the maintenance of the building have to take care of that.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Cause yeah, that's really sad. So to help Edwin out, his GoFundMe is in the chat. Click the link.
This
He's
Donate a
guy,
gonna be in a
couple.
he's gonna be in a bad place for a long time, man. This is not something, especially at his age, you don't get over this
how old is
very
he?
quick. He's got to be like in his 50s, right?
Yeah, he kind of gives me that vibe.
No, I oh yeah, I think I also heard that um Jason Pearson
Oh yeah,
died,
yeah, he passed away.
and of course I know that, and of course the usual suspects were saying like he was a good artist, but
I don't think I know
which
who
is
he is.
he did dang it, what was it called? He did like a comic for Dark Horse, or was it Image? He like really style. Yeah. Uh, let me look it up quick.
Body bags?
Yeah, body bags.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, really? That's
Yeah,
oh man. That was a crazy fucking book, man.
Yeah, many people like it.
yeah. I'm trying to get on top of that, but yep. Yeah, Jason Pearson, body bags creator. He died at 52. He actually passed away in December.
Yep.
He died from natural causes.
Actually, Ethan was talking about this yesterday that the reason the family didn't disclose the fact that he passed away is because they knew in the moment they announced that he's dead, these
Mm-hmm.
bolters, these assholes, will come after him. And the family, especially his mom, because his mom was the one who announced it that he passed away. She didn't want it to see that immediately after he died. So she
Why
decided to,
why would people be going after him?
because you know how shitty are the guys in the mainstream comic book industry.
Yeah, and
I'm
apparently, I think he reportedly had like bipolar, and I guess he had like an incident where he kind of lost his mind a little bit, and I don't know, people were criticizing him on that, even though they're the ones who like bleed about, oh, I have this mental illness and I have autism and blah 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 blah. We should all be we should all be kind and considerate.
he died of a heart attack. You know what my fucking question is? There are two things when someone in media entertainment dies of a heart attack, and it used to only be one, but now it's two, that I immediately want to know. You know what those two things are?
Well, one is
Coof.
the shot, and the other
Yep.
one is the I don't know. Uh,
Cocaine.
I was
Was
gonna
he
say
vaccinated?
Clinton, but okay.
Was he vaccinated, and did he have a relationship with cocaine?
I don't
Because
know, it doesn't say.
that's very young to be dying of a fucking sudden heart attack.
Doesn't say, but I think it was alluded that he had a troubled past that did involve drugs and
Yeah.
yeah.
Every time a drummer dies of a sudden heart attack, I guarantee you it's cocaine related.
Right, right. So, so help out Edwin, R.I.P. Jason. Let's get to the good stuff. All right. Castanya, no. One of the big news: Alec Baldwin hit with involuntary manslaughter and death of Halmia Hutchins, and he's facing up to 18 months of prison.
18 months. That's bullshit.
He shouldn't be facing any prison time. He's not criminally liable. If you think Alec Baldwin is criminally liable, you know nothing about this situation, and you know nothing about movies, and you know nothing about contracting.
Yeah.
He had
Here's
someone hired, yeah, who was
this
also she's
person.
also charged. There's a reason why she's not in front on this, and the people that are missing this are blowing my fucking mind that they're missing this. Show business has a severe fucking diversity problem, and I've seen people get hurt because of it. It's one of the reasons I left that fucking industry. There are a lot of reasons. That's one of them. I knew that people were going to eventually get killed because of Hollywood's diversity problem.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah Gutierrez Reed is the
Yep.
one who holds the criminal liability. That's the entire reason that she was contracted for that job. But she was completely fucking incapable of doing that job. But kick-ass woman in show business, kick-ass woman armorer, look, I'm kick-ass woman. And everybody fucking falls for it.
And judging by her last name Gutierrez, she's a POC.
She can at least claim it, but if you've looked at her, there's nothing OC about her. If you wanna go on about Baldwin's civic liability, I'm all there. Yeah, he most like her the people that were shot, because it wasn't just Hutchins, it was the cameraman too. They both have enormous lawsuits against Baldwin and should get every fucking penny they can squeeze out of him for it. But that's not the same as criminal. He is ultimately, well, I mean, he most likely did not hire her personally, but he is ultimately the responsible party for hiring Gutierrez Reed. So yeah, throw as much civic liability against him as you want, but there's no criminal liability. And everyone, I see all these arguments. Well, you're supposed to clear the chamber yourself. Okay, point me to a law that says that. Point me to a contract stipulation that says that. You have neither. You're just trying to show everyone how much you know about gun safety. That's great. You know about gun safety. It's got nothing to fucking do with this.
Um, it is also not common sense.
I wouldn't say it is common sense. Otherwise, there'd be no need for an armorer ever, anywhere. The armorer is there to soak liability. That is what the armorer is there to do.
Yeah. Well, they do say that involuntary slaughter in New Mexico is a Class D felony punishable up by 18 months in prison. And if Baldwin is convicted, he could be sentenced at or near the max.
Well, Rakita says that he's not gonna get the 18 months.
Yeah.
He highly doubts it.
Yeah, I don't know what's Rakita saying about it.
They asked him yesterday about what was his opinion about the situation, and based on his experience seeing how actors get justice in this United States, he finds very unlikely he will get 18 months.
Yeah, I think that's probably realistic. But the important question is, what is the armorer going to get? Because she should get years. She should get fucking years. This is her criminal liability. And it's all being fucking swept under the rug.
She'll probably get the max and then probation.
Yeah.
I think she'll get less than what Baldwin gets.
That
Whatever
too.
Not that that's the way it should be, but I think that's the way it's going to be. They aren't going to fucking let her take criminal liability because, again, people will start asking, is Hollywood's diversity problem getting people killed? And now we know the answer is fucking yes.
Mm-hmm. And there's Alec Baldwin's fake Hispanic wife.
God, those white girls that do the fucking Hispanic accents are so annoying.
And then Tanya. Let's see. I don't know why he got 2 counts. Because people have been saying that she was pregnant, but it doesn't say in this article that she was.
That doesn't mean she wasn't. I remember hearing that she was.
Midnight, you know by curiosity what happened to the guys who were involved in the death of Brandon Lee?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm sure that there were payouts. I'm certain that there were payouts, but there was no criminal charges.
Okay.
It was a tragic accident.
Huh, that's weird because last night I was dreaming about hanging out with Bruce Lee for some reason.
Oh, really? I was watching the movie about the life of Bruce Lee yesterday.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right. Okay, next story. But yeah, diversity hires suck. Biden classified document investigation. Secret Service ready to provide Delaware visitor, source says. So Secret Service are being prepared to turn over documentation. They're prepared to offer names of individuals who visited President Biden's Wilmington, Delaware home if requested by Congress. And the White House continues to insist that there exists no formal visitor log for the personal residence where 2 troves of classified documents were found. How much do you want to bet that a bunch of them are Chinese names?
I don't even think that had to be the case. It just had to be Hunter.
Or Ukrainian
Yeah.
names.
Hunter and the latest crack whore of the week or of the hour.
All that had to happen because Hunter was doing business with the Chinese and the Ukrainians. So all that had to
Mhm.
happen was Hunter had to go there, find out what he needed to find out, head over to the other guys' offices and tell them what they needed to know. How the fuck
Yep.
this isn't whatever?
Where am I? Joe! Hunter! Okay, anything? While the White House has not kept a formal list, the Secret Service does collect information on guests with regular access to the home. And retention of the names of those vetted by the Secret Service depends on a variety of factors, including proximity to the president and nature of the background check. Maybe the Secret Service that's hanging around with Biden should also get looked at if they're possibly vetting Chinese and Ukrainians. Or unless Hunter Biden is like, if they like raise questions, Hunter Biden's like, no, they cool.
I
You
don't think that
think?
you're going to have Chinese and Ukrainians going to Joe Biden's house. That's just not how that works.
Oh,
What you have is
okay.
a third party like Hunter. Hey, Dad, I'm going to go check out the Corvette. Going through the boxes, finding what that like. They're
Okay,
stupid. They're not that.
bro. Tell Hunter he needs to do give me ice cream. Let's see. Let's see. A source familiar with anything else? The Secret Service does not maintain visitor logs at private residence or protectees. A source from okay, we already read that. Of course, Biden again ignored reporters' questions on Tuesday as they tried to get him to address the classified documents from his time as vice president that were recently found at his Delaware home and at the Penn Biden Center in Washington, D.C.
Have you seen that video?
No, I have not.
He just sits there fucking grinning. Just grinning and grinning and grinning. Because in his mind, every reporter asking him questions is going to get Clintoned. This guy's
Interesting.
fucking evil.
Maybe. And of course, but wait, there's more. Oh, fuck. FBI searches Biden's Wilmington home and finds more classified materials.
As far as I know, all the classified materials they're finding in Biden's houses, properties, is from before he was president.
Yeah.
So,
And he
unlike
was still
Donald
vice
Trump,
president.
right. So, unlike Donald Trump, who as president had right of declassification, Biden did not have the right to declassify. So he literally, this is spying. This is espionage.
Yep.
Do you know what the fucking punishment for that is?
Treason. I mean, the wall.
I believe the Rosenbergs got the electric chair.
Shit.
Well,
And Ethel, from what I've heard, Ethel wasn't actually involved. It was all Julius.
but they also wanted to make an example out of her. To prove women should also be held accountable.
No comment.
Anyways, FBI investigators on Friday found additional classified material while conducting a search of President Joe Biden's Wilmington, Delaware home. Let's see. Bob Bauer, the president's personal attorney, said that the Department of Justice took possession of materials that deemed within the scope of its inquiry, including 6 items consistent of documents with classification markings and surrounding materials, some of which were from the president's service in the Senate, and some of which were from his tenure as vice president. And then they
All of
are
which are
also
illegal for him to have.
reviewing, and he's also reviewing personally handwritten notes from the vice presidential years. Let's see. And while the search is voluntary, it marks an escalation of the probe into the president's handling of classified documents and will inevitably draw comparisons to his predecessor, Donald Trump, even if the FBI search was of Trump was conducted under different circumstances.
Paulo
And it's
Costa says maybe Joe thought his Corvette was the president.
oh
Very
wait.
funny, Paulo. Very funny.
Oh hey Paulo. Maybe I can imagine Joe just sitting on the ground and say, "Oh hello Barack. I went out and got some chocolate chip ice cream today with my good friend Corn Pop. We touched each other's leg hair. And then I told him about my cool Corvette that I have in my garage." What else? Let's see. The search shows that federal investigators are swiftly moving forward with the probe into classified documents, and it was overseen by the Office of Trump appointed U.S. Attorney John Lausch, who has been handling the initial review of the Justice Department's probe. Robert Hur, who was appointed, is still transitioning to his role as a special counsel. Let's see. The search was done with the consent of the president's attorney, and people briefed on the matter said, and they picked up documents found at the residence, which the Biden team disclosed last week. Unfortunately, the search did not require a search warrant or a subpoena. Let's see. Stick Durbin. Material. So the first documents that were found in Biden's private office on November 2nd, but not publicly revealed until earlier this month. Since then, another search, they found more. They say that Biden says that we found a handful of documents were filed in the wrong place, as he explained Thursday during a tour of storm damage in California. "I think you're not gonna find nothing there. I have no regrets." I think he has a lot of regrets. Do you think?
No, I don't think he does have any regrets. I don't think that guy
No.
regrets a single fucking thing. He's incapable of regret because regret requires self-reflection. He doesn't self-reflect.
Mm. But anyways, Biden is spending this weekend at his Rehoboth Beach, Delaware home, and then asked on Friday if the visit had anything to do with documents being found at the Wilmington home. The press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, referred reporters to the White House counsel's office and Department of Justice, but says that Biden often travels to Delaware on the weekends.
Check his
She's
logs.
useless. Yep.
Oh no, she's very useful. She's very useful. She's completely fucking retarded, but just intelligent enough to read from her script, sort of. By the way,
Oh God!
yeah,
You smell that? Oh God! Hi.
I just slipped in some fucking grease and fell on my ass.
What? What is that?
Hola.
Hello.
Oh,
What's up,
Did,
ladies and gentlemen?
did I also hear your mother in the background?
Yeah, you will also hear my mother in the background. Like he has an amazing aim. She's been silent the entire day because she's giving me the silent treatment for reasons that I will tell you guys a lot later. And she just decided to talk just fucking now. It's amazing.
No comment.
Yep. Basque women for you.
Yep.
You don't need to include Bosk in that.
Yeah, you get a point. Jesus.
So, Canales, fellow cartoonist, what is your opinion on the Edwin Boyette situation?
Yeah.
Oh wow, more things happened involving Edwin Boyette, but
Oh shit, you don't know?
oh, you don't
I
know?
don't know, man.
Oh
Bro.
shit!
It's actually really fucking sad.
Yeah.
Edwin Boyette's apartment or condo caught on fire,
Oh shit.
and he lives on like the fucking 15th, 20th floor. He lives high in one of those high rises in Hawaii. His father-in-law died. His dogs died. He lost everything.
Oh
No cap.
shit.
No joke. Yep.
Hmm. So if you want to spare a couple pesetas, here's the
Pesetas.
GoFundMe link.
Like I can't donate to GoFundMe because for some reason it fucks with my credit card. I don't know why. Like it invalidates my credit card.
Yeah,
But
same thing happens to with me. I cannot
right.
donate to GoFundMe.
Yeah, I tried to. Well, I actually donated to Zach's war chest, but I had to do it like not through the fucking GoFundMe because yeah, doesn't
Yeah,
work for me. I don't know
the
why?
same thing happened to me. I think 4 years. No, yeah, 4 years ago because I was giving money to the elite army for the plane that was gonna fly over the Oscars, and
Right.
I wasn't capable to do it. I have to keep money to other way.
Holy shit, man. Well, I'm really sorry about the whole Edwin situation. Like dude, that's fucking awful, man. I don't know if Edwin and I get along because I don't know if I was on Ethan's side or I wasn't on his side, or I don't know what the hell happened. But I personally like never had a problem with him, so it sucks to hear that happened to him.
Yeah, it does suck.
So yeah, what were you guys talking about? Karine Jean Pierre?
Oh yeah, Korean Jean Pierre is she's like Jez was saying that she's useless, but actually she's the perfect bulletproof vest for the White House right now because she can hide behind diversity and she's just too dumb to address any of the points anyway. So she just reads her notes and responds as prompted, and anyone who questions her is racist or sexist or whatever.
They're still
Or
doing that.
homophobic because she's a les.
Yeah,
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 sure. I'm sure she is.
she's lesbian. Doesn't she have a peg leg? Just in case, like she should totally say that she has a peg leg. So nobody will more diverse than her. I actually have a crystal eye.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
She reminds
I
me
miss
when I was in college. I went to a community college for a little while, and there was this mother and daughter. They were both black. Who the mother had been in college for like over a decade. They just fucking scammed Pell Grants constantly, and they were lifetime students who were there to just scam from the good. This was how they made their living. They didn't have jobs. They just went to school for their lives. That's Corinne Jean Pierre's got the same thing going on.
Anyways, let's continue with some Biden news. Former Biden assistant questioned by law enforcement over classified docs repeatedly appeared in Hunter's emails. Hunter Biden recommended that his fire hire Kathy Chung to be his
Chungus.
executive assistant, wink wink, in 2012.
So, what was Swalwell's chick's name?
Fang Fang or Fong
Yeah,
Fong,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, It
Yeah.
was like
Ping
one of
Ping
those.
Pong Pong Ding Dong Ping Pong.
It was definitely a Chinese name that sounded like you were making a joke,
Yeah.
a racist joke
Shanghai
at that.
Swalwell. A former top aide to President Biden, who reportedly was questioned by federal investigators as part of the probe into the president's handling of the classified documents, exchanged emails with Hunter Biden on numerous occasions. Kathy Chung, Biden's executive assistant when he was vice president and the Pentagon's currently deputy director of protocol, is among several former aides of the president to be interviewed by law enforcement. Chung and the others questioned reportedly helped move materials and belongings from Biden's office at the end of the Obama administration in early 2017. Throughout much of her 5-year tenure of working for Biden during the Obama administration, Chung regularly communicated with Biden's son Hunter, transmitting information about his father's schedule and passing messages directly from the then vice president, according to emails obtained from Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop and verified by Fox News Digital.
This is
Also,
all espionage.
mm-hmm. Also, Chung's relationship with Hunter Biden also appears to date back before she worked for his father. Emails show that Hunter Biden recommended Chung for the executive assistant role when the previous holder of the job, Michelle Smith, departed the White House in the spring of 2012. Hmm.
Convenient, to quote Rorschach.
Thanks for calling and thinking of me, Chung wrote to Hunter Biden on May 4th, 2012. After the initial shock of taking in what you said, how could I pass up an opportunity to work for the Vice President of the United States? I do have a few questions. What is Michelle's primary job? I think I know what the job would entail minus the scheduling part, which is huge, but what do I know now? But what do I do know of what I do now? But what would be my top 3 to 5 responsibilities be in office? Do you know the salary? Again, thanks for thinking of me. And at the time, she worked for former Senator Mark Udall from Colorado, a Democrat, in his office as his scheduling director. And then she also worked for Delaware Senator Ted Kaufman, who was appointed to replace Biden in the Senate in 2009, and a longtime confidant of Biden dating back decades.
Ironically, I had Chinese food for dinner tonight.
Huh.
I actually have Chinese food waiting for me in the kitchen.
I didn't have Chinese food today. Let's see. In response to her message, Hunter Biden responded later that day saying that the job would make her the primary gatekeeper of Biden's and would be involved in everything that goes on outside of policy. Oh. And then he says, call if when you want me to tell daddy you're interested, and I'm sure Michelle would also want to talk to you at some point. He added, I don't know who else they were considering, but I thought you would be great. And then a month later, Chung emailed Hunter informing him that she had been offered the job. I cannot thank you enough for thinking about me and walking me through this. What incredible opportunity. Thanks, Hunter. And then dozens of additional emails between the two showed various levels of correspondence between the two. In one instance, Hunter and Chung communicated his scheduled meeting with Mexican billionaire Carlos Slim.
Oh,
Oh,
Well, that's new to me.
yeah.
Hunter arranged a video conference with his father and Slim, with whom Hunter was seeking to do business with at the time, on October 30th, 2015.
Interruption. We have checked the chat.
Okay. We'll come back.
Wait, Mr. Wait,
Mr.
John of
we already did Paulo Costa. Mr. Yono Fool?
Yo no fui.
Yo no
What's the
fui.
Hola.
emoji? What's the emoji? I don't know what that emoji
It's
is.
the thinking face emoji.
I think it's like the
Oh.
emoji.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Got it.
Interesting.
I had no idea about the fucking Chapo connection.
Oh shit.
Sorry, Carlos Slim, not Chapo. I had no idea.
Same
about the
difference, same difference.
Dude,
Oh no,
Carlos
here
Slim
it
is
is.
slime.
Carlos Slime.
Oh, slime.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
here's
talking
the.
about Slim with my mom the other day because he was the fucking president of Mexico of the time, Gortari, who sell teléfonos de México to Slim.
Yeah. And
Yeah. Well, originally it was a government owner company, and he privatized it.
this was what, Telmex?
Based.
Yeah, Telmex.
Ah. Alright, let's see. Oh, in another instance from earlier that year, Chung sent Hunter and other members of the Biden family an invitation to attend a State Department luncheon hosted by his father honoring Chinese President Winnie the Pooh. Hunter and Chung even communicated at times about birthday gifts for relatives and assisting friends' children with college admittance. And then what else? Oh yeah. Um, and then Hunter suggested that Chung should work should come work with him and his business partners Eric Schwerin and Joan Meyer. Actually, work for me and with Eric. Actually, do actual work with Eric and Joan, and so that I can make everyone money. Actually, just make all of you and Kathleen money and none for me. He wrote to Chung, referring to his ex-wife Kathleen Boole. Sounds fun, right? And here's the actual um email. On multiple occasions, the pair coordinated schedules for meetings with former University of Pennsylvania President Amy Gutmann. Shortly after taking office, the president selected Gutmann to be the U.S. ambassador to Germany. Huh.
Hmm.
Hmm.
VP will be meeting with President Gutmann on Friday, January 8th at the Lake House in DE. Chung wrote an email to Hunter Biden. After Chung invited Hunter Biden to another meeting with Gutmann in April 2016, he suggested in a follow-up message to his business partner that he may need to reschedule a previously scheduled meeting with the Prime Minister of the Ivory Coast, or the Côte d'Ivoire. He added that the Gutmann meeting is a must-attend for me per dad.
I mean,
Blah, blah, blah.
if it's not clear to you that the Bidens have been involved in espionage and money laundering and racketeering and all kinds of international like gangster shit, like not the cool gangster shit, but the like fuck over your own country gangster shit. If it's not obvious to you at this point, you're never gonna believe it. You're never gonna buy it. So there's the schism. And we need to behave according to that schism. Anyone who doesn't get it is your enemy. And an enemy of at least this country. In theory, an enemy of all countries, but that's a bigger concept.
Yeah, let's just call them globalist scum.
Yeah. Well, they're globalist, useful idiots.
All right, here's the last of our Biden stories, but you gotta love this one. Exclusive Biden classified files were sent to another DC location before they were stored at Think Tank by a team led by aide who had been recommended by Hunter, probably that Kathy Chung, sparking more questions about the documents debacle. The long and winding document trail that leads classified documents from Joe Biden's vice presidential office to the Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement in Washington, D.C., and now back into the hands of the government includes yet another stopover, a temporary facility in the nation's capital. The documents were removed in the summer of 2017 after spending about 6 months at a government transition office near the White House once Biden left the vice presidency. The space in DC's Chinatown neighborhood.
Of course it is. Yeah, go ahead.
Was
Keep going.
Yep.
I was going to tell you to
overseen-
be brief about it and wrap it up because this is the third fucking Biden article in a row, but keep going.
Was overseen by the Penn Biden Center while its prized location near the Capitol was being readied. The office had its formal opening in 2018. Everything was just moved en masse to a temporary space, then moved to Penn Biden. And here's the mass. First, it started at the Eisenhower Executive Building. Then it went to a transition office. Then it goes all the way over to the temporary Penn Biden facility in Chinatown. And then it finally reached the Penn Biden Center. And then here's a handy timeline of what's been happening so far. The new location adds yet another layer to the confusing classified documents debacle, in which the files ended up inside a locked cabinet at the Penn Biden Center, where they got discovered in November 22, while raising new questions about the total universe of people who might have had access to the documents over the last 6 years. People involved in the process included Biden's former staff members, General Service Administration personnel, and the staff at the think tank, an entity that would later have roles for senior aides that remain in Biden's orbit, including now Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, who serves as the center's managing director. And you would not believe who oversaw everything. We just talked about her. The woman who oversaw the packing and shipping of Biden documents in 2017 was Kathy Chung, who secured the position with a well-placed recommendation from Hunter Biden. And what?
Surprise, this is espionage. This is fucking espionage. This is like high fucking treason. This is big deal shit. You know, I won't get started because I'll keep going.
Yeah. Look at this motherfucking stud here with two questionably young girls. I don't know if they're relatives or
women of public access, probably.
And here's the place at the Penn Biden Center, and the Corvette. There he is, driving away or backing into the garage. There's the stuff. There was the shit. Let's see. Chung was the first person to be publicly identified as a meeting with federal investigators in the matter, and she spoke to U.S. Attorney John Lausch and then Merrick Garland. Let's see. Blah blah blah. Anything else? There's no indication that Chung knew that the box of documents also included documents marked classified that Biden lawyer Patrick Moore discovered while cleaning out Biden's former D.C. office in November. Anything else? That's the Wilmington home. And then she says, we're going on. Karine Jean-Pierre saying we're moving on from Biden document question. And I guess that's that. I don't know if I can play that, but will they ever see the wall? Will they ever see the inside of a?
Well, I can answer that question by transitioning us into a topic that I have a good idea that you have queued up. I can answer that question, and you're not going to like the answer.
Do we ever?
Well, let's see. The
You
next story I have is from the Post. What's that?
Well, what is the next thing you have queued up?
Pfizer.
So that's not the topic that'll answer your question. The topic that'll answer your question is the Steven Crowder Daily Wire drama as of late.
Oh shit!
Did you have anything on that queued up?
I didn't grab a link about that. If
That's
someone
okay.
can find me,
we should talk about it at least a little bit because it's pretty important. And well, let's talk about it right now instead of changing the direction because it's important.
It's probably the proof that once a corporation gets big enough, they all act the same, as in using leftist tactics.
So that's not what concerns me. What concerns me is all the fucking retards standing for the Daily Wire. There aren't enough people that get it. And there are people that are too easily distracted from it by money. I don't think that there's saving it anymore. After seeing just how many people ought to fucking know better, not fucking get it with the Crowder Daily Wire situation, they're gonna fall in line because they are falling in line.
Mm.
And just to clarify for anybody listening, what's been going on is Crowder essentially outed the Daily Wire as a group, as a globalist arm of narrative control for conservatives. I'm not even a conservative. I just end up strange. I've ended up strange bedfellows with them for the last fucking 6 years, 8 years, whatever it is. And everyone's going, but $50 million, $50 million. It's not about the money. It's about silencing the dissent. It's about Ben Shapiro insisting that you take this mRNA poison into your body. The entire Daily Wire is controlled opposition, which means that they're globalist shills. All of them. Every single one of them. Do you have a Daily Wire contract? You're a globalist shill. Probably goes the same for the Blaze. Do you have a Blaze contract? You're a globalist shill. They're giving you just enough leash so that you will not fight the leash, but you'll stay on it. And you'll fall right in line. I'm not calling it as over, but it sure seems like there just aren't enough people that are really against any of this stuff.
They're just saying it's the globalists trying to be the right.
Well, it's not the globalists trying to be the right. It's the globalists controlling the right with contracts.
Yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm.
And not that much money. If you think $50 million is a lot of money for an operation like Crowder's, you're a fucking retard who doesn't know what they're talking about. Shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. You don't know. That's his entire production budget for the terms of the contract, not his salary, you fucking moron.
Actually, what we already probably knew is on this story is Twitter was pressured by Pfizer to suppress posts questioning COVID vax efficacy.
This is the same topic. It's the same fucking topic. They won't let us
Everything's
talk about it because if we talk about it, we fight them.
Yep. Alex Berenson dropped records from the Twitter files on Monday, stating that a board member for Pfizer pressured Twitter to suppress and censor any posts questioning the efficacy of the company's mRNA vaccine. So, on August 27th, 2021, Dr. Scott Gottlieb, a Pfizer board member, emailed Todd O'Boyle, a senior manager of public policy at Twitter's Washington, D.C. location, and also Twitter's point of contact with the White House. The subject line contained a tweet from Dr. Brett Giroir, who had briefly served under Gottlieb in the Food and Drug Administration. The tweet read, "It is now clear that natural immunity is superior to the vaccine immunity by a lot. There is no scientific justification for vax proof if a person had prior infection." It's also added that the CDC director Rochelle Walensky and President Joe Biden must follow the science. If no previous infection, get vaccinated. In response,
The science.
trademark copyright registration mark.
If you use the phrase "the science," I want you to right now give me a definition of what science is in your own words. If I see any fucking repeated terminology, your definition is discounted.
Mm-hmm. This is the kind of so this Gottlieb said that this is the kind of stuff that's corrosive. Here he draws a sweeping conclusion off of a single retrospective study in Israel that hadn't been peer-reviewed, but this tweet will end up going viral and driving news coverage. And so O'Boyle forwarded the email to the Twitter strategic response team through Jira, an internal system used by Twitter for managing complaints. And then they did the report, blah, blah, blah. And then Gottlieb brought forth a tweet to a boil again on September 3rd, written by Justin Hart, which states, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but a viral pathogen with a child mortality rate of about 0% has cost our children nearly 3 years of schooling." Which is true.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm seeing it in my nieces and nephews. I'm seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they should be smarter than they are at their respective ages, and they're not. They are 3 years arrested in development. What's going to happen? Like, when they're out of school, because they're going to be passed and graduated without them being able to actually do the work of passing and graduating, if you know what I mean. No one's going to get held back when they should be, because everyone, like, you're going to have kids that need to be in school until they're 21 now. They're going to be released on the world and incapable of simple analytical thinking.
Let's see. So after the Twitter files drop, this Gottlieb guy responded, "In the past, I've raised concerns with Twitter related to the safety of me and the others and threats being made on the platform. Blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it included statements that I believe were purposely false and inflammatory. And then the selective disclosure, blah, blah, blah. Cry, 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 cry. If the goal of Twitter files is transparency, here's some of the private emails I had with Twitter related to threats and safety, which weren't released and which I repeatedly highlighted my communications with the platform. Safety remains an existential concern for Twitter." Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, gotta like this guy. He sent a screenshot of this Gottlieb guy, and then this guy is like, he says that, he highlights a comment saying, "Execute this bastard." And then he complains about that. Anything else? Gottlieb and Berenson had come head-to-head before, with Berenson revealing in October that Gottlieb, a director for Pfizer, went to Twitter and said, "This guy is a problem and they banned me." So, yeah. That's that. But speaking of Pfizer, from Rebel News,
Yeah, that was nice.
caught him.
That was pleasant to watch.
Rebel News published Pfizer CEO with questions at World Economic Forum. Avi Yamini and I were standing on the streets of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, when we spotted Albert Bourla walking by. I don't know, can we play?
Mr. Bourla, can I ask you, when did you know that the vaccines didn't stop transmission? How long did you know that without saying it publicly?
Thank you very much.
Answer that question. I mean, we now know that the vaccines didn't stop transmission, but why did you keep it secret? You said it was 100% effective, then 90%, then 80%, then 70%. But we now know that the vaccines do not stop transmission. Why did you keep that secret?
Have a nice day.
I won't have a nice day until I know the answer. Why did you keep it a secret that your vaccine did not stop transmission?
Is it time to apologise to the world, sir? To give refunds back to the countries that poured all their money into your vaccine that doesn't work, your ineffective vaccine? Are you not ashamed of what you've done in the last couple of years?
Do you have any apologies to the public, sir?
Are you proud of it? You've made millions on the backs of people's entire livelihood. How does that feel to walk the streets as a millionaire on the backs of the regular person at home in Australia, in England, in Canada?
What do you think about on your yacht, sir? What do you think about on your private jet? Are you worried about product liability? Are you worried about myocarditis?
What about the sudden deaths?
What do you have to say about young men dropping dead of heart attacks every day? Why won't you answer these basic questions? No apology, sir.
Do you think you should be charged criminally for some of the criminal behavior you've obviously been a part of?
Maybe even deleted.
How much money have you personally made off the
Where's
vaccine?
Jack Ruby when you
How many
fucking
boosters do you think it'll take
Right?
for you to be happy enough?
Imagine if
With your
it
earnings.
had been Liberty devices instead of cameras and mics.
Nothing?
It should have been.
Who did you meet
only
with
answer.
here in secret?
Nope.
Will you disclose who you met with? Who did you
This
pay
guy
commissions to?
is
In the past,
responsible
Pfizer.
for a lot of deaths. How many people have
Yeah,
died because of this vaccine?
Got a
Do we-
lot
do
of
we
blood
even-
on his hand.
Do we even have anywhere near an accurate count? I bet we don't. I have a
No.
niece who got vaccinated. She's a teenager, and she was how do I say this? She was, past puberty, if you get what I'm saying, when she got vaccinated.
Yeah.
And since then, she has had menstrual complications.
Yeah, no, I think like the vast majority
Right.
of women that had the vaccine had menstrual complications.
So is she going to be able to carry a child to term?
I guess we'll have to
Probably not.
How long is it going to take to find that out? It's going to take until she tries. That's going to be probably another 10 years, right? Ish. She's what, 16? Yeah, she's 16 now. It's probably going to be. I don't think that she's got the personality that strikes me as the kind that's going to be cautious in her reproductive endeavors, if you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So there's probably something like 10 years before we're going to find out whether or not she can carry a child to term. 10 years. We don't have that time to deal with this.
And I also saw something where someone reported that it's becoming more common for more people turning to like IVF and those types of fertility treatments.
I know multiple
It's
people
on
that
the
have done it.
rise. Mm-hmm. So must mean something. They're also saying that fertility has been dropping,
They
especially in the West.
poisoned the entire human race. There is, if you want to talk about genocide, if you want to talk about attempted genocide, that's this. It's a genophage. I mean, we've all played Mass Effect, right? The vaccine is a fucking genophage.
Yep. But yeah, as the video shows, Albert Burla is a smug fuck. He doesn't want to answer the questions.
Well, he knows what happens if he answers them.
He's gonna get his head on a stick.
Hello, Mr. Mussolini.
Yep.
It's interesting because we're not really allowed to talk about this stuff. We're not supposed. I mean, like what we just said is troublesome. I mean, this channel is what it is.
It's still
But
forbidden to talk about the vaccine.
well, that too, but also like what to do about the people that did it.
You saw the tweet of Rachel Maddow? Well, it was a video of Rachel Maddow.
No, what did she say?
I think it was from 2020 or 2021 when she said that if you get vaccinated, the virus stops with you. You're 100% immune.
False.
Absolutely false, of course.
At a certain point,
False.
we have to be able to talk about the war that we've been in for a long time and what to do about it.
I
Because
know
make
what
no
I want to
mistake,
do, but I can
Yeah.
say it out loud.
We are at war. When someone releases a fucking genophage on the human species, you are at war with that person
Yep.
and their people.
Speaking of, Canales, tell Khmer to shut the fuck up, because I know he's calling you. Continuing. Great Reset. Siemens chairman calls for 1 billion people to stop eating meat at the World Economic Forum. And reminder, kids, this is the same guy whose company is behind the medical assistance in dying in Canada. 1 billion people should stop eating meat in order to save the climate, the chairman of the largest industrial manufacturing company in Europe told a panel at the World Economic Forum.
Is
Danish
he gonna be the first
businessman
one?
and chairman of the No. Anyways, this guy, Jim Hageman Snabe, pushed the Great Reset agenda of replacing meat with synthetic proteins at a Mobilizing for Climate panel at the annual globalist meeting in Davos, Switzerland on Wednesday. If 1 billion people stop eating meat, I tell you, it has a big impact. Not only does it have a big impact on the current food system, but it will also inspire innovation of food systems, Snape said, adding, I predict we will have proteins not coming from meat in the future that will probably taste even better. Right.
Yeah, you go ahead and lead the way on that, buddy.
Let's see, the German multinational conglomerate has been a central figure in the so far disastrous green agenda in the economic heart of Europe, which has left Germany vulnerable to the machinations of global politics, namely Russia's war in Ukraine. However, the push towards an allegedly greener future has sent Siemens criticized for its alleged ties to the forced labor system in the Communist Chinese concentration camp region of Xinjiang, which is the leader producer of solar panel components. And
the Germans
despite their
keep
own
fucking
sordid
doing
history,
it.
Yep. And what a day to have! What a time to have German ancestry! I tell ya. Despite their own sordid history of using forced layers during the reign of Adolf Hitler's National Socialist Party, the current CEO of the company, Roland Bush, said last year the EU should not pressure Beijing over forced labor, as it might stall the progress of the green agenda. Old habits die hard, I guess. I don't know. Do you want to listen to this? Fuck.
Do we have to?
I won't torture you.
It may be copyrighted.
That's
Yeah.
also true.
Let's see. The World Economic Forum has always been at the forefront of the meat-free future movement, arguing that people should opt for more climate-beneficial foods such as algae, seaweed, and cacti. So I was saying this before. I like seaweed and algae. I like to snack on some sushi wrapped in seaweed. I also like tuna fruit, which comes from a cactus.
Tuna
Do
fruit?
I want to? Yeah. In America, they're called prickly pears, but in
Oh, okay, I know what that is.
now, as much as I love these foods, I probably wouldn't eat them like every single waking moment of my life. Maybe tuna, but the thing I don't like about tuna is you have to peel it and it still has like these tiny little spines that like get right into your hand, you know? Even if you like wash them off really good, and it's just a pain in the ass. And then they also have like these hard little black seeds, which kind of hurts the teeth if you crunch on them wrong, but still delicious. They're good for your heart. Let's see. The Klaus Schwab, boo, founded an organization that pioneered the idea of a great reset of capitalism, has also promoted the idea of eating insect protein rather than meat to lessen the impact of supposedly man-made climate change. No. It is questionable how much of an impact to move away from meat would actually have on carbon emissions. This guy, Bjorn Lomborg, had previously noted that studies have shown that should the average person in the industrialized world cut out meat from their diet, it would only result in an individual emissions reduction of 4.3%. Nevertheless, the anti-meat push has continued to be a central theme of the radical climate change through the West. Some, including researchers in the Netherlands, have suggested that the economic crisis befalling the world could end up being a positive for the climate, as people will have less money to spend on meat, flights, and driving. Yeah.
Almost like there's a purpose to those rising food costs.
Yeah. Now, the next and last story about the WEF. Do not think of what's going to be putting in your head. Demand for prostitutes spikes in Davos as World Economic Forum begins. Don't think it. Don't think it. Don't imagine it. You know what it is. We're not saying
No.
it, or else the image is going to be put in your head.
I don't know what it is.
Take a guess. Prostitutes, WEF?
You know, banging industrialists and politicians.
I was gonna say now you're gonna fine. Now I'm gonna say it and curse you all. You're probably gonna have the image of Klaus Schwab getting serviced by a bunch of whores.
Nope, stop.
That's what I
Stop.
said. That's what I said.
Haven't we all seen that picture of Klaus Schwab? Like, you know, the picture of Klaus Schwab floating
The
around the
alleged
interwebs?
picture of Klaus Schwab.
And I'm not referring to the one in which he's like cosplaying as a Klingon or whatever. You know, like, I don't know if it's like a Romulan ambassador or something. No. I mean the other one. You know which one.
Yep.
I don't know why the occasion in Davos is like a barrier to him doing that every other day.
I mean, he lives in Davos, right? That's where he lives.
I think so.
Maybe, I don't know.
He's bringing everybody across the world to his backyard for barbecue and horse, and maybe some
A
adrenaline.
barbecue of the box.
And
The
you
amount of
will
blackmail
now.
material happening in that fucking town right now.
Oh, man.
Uh,
You will now inject this syringe into your anus.
Demand
and
for prostitutes
will
and
let me
escorts have
record.
reportedly spiked in Davos, Switzerland, which of course has the World Economic Forum. Sex services are reportedly in high demand in Davos this week, with multiple publications reporting numerous prostitutes and escorts as descending on the Swiss ski resort as it hosts the annual conference of the WEF. Well, the spike is not expected, with the Times publishing an expose back in 2020 describing it as a den of prostitution and predators, with professional sex workers attending Davos in large numbers. But let's see the numbers of who's there willingly and who's not.
There is the question. You know, it's interesting, man. I was listening. I don't remember who it was. I was listening to some. Oh, was it? I don't remember. It was some independent journalist who was saying that like they took her passport away and like she went through like 4 security checks. Don't you think that would catch trafficked people, that level of security?
No.
Well, what I'm saying is that security is corrupt and it's letting trafficked people through.
Well, one escort service told the Swiss paper, "So far we have 11 reservations and 25 inquiries for the coming week, but I assume that there will be more. For
11
example, our
sounds light.
women." Yep. For example, our women have already been brought to Davos by diplomats and company bosses. The manager continued. Some also book escorts for themselves and their employees to party in the hotel suite.
I couldn't imagine wanting to bang an escort that my boss got me. Like, that
Yeah.
sounds
Hi,
weird.
Acker.
Yeah, it's like banging a
gotta
hooker
be
that
a
your dad hires. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
You gotta be
This
a
is
team player, Midnight.
Not that kind of team player. Thank you. This is none of your business.
Oh.
folks.
Yeah. Let's see. Acker says Mexico is a shady but sort of legal business for locals and foreigners sending cat and dog meat to the States for human consumption.
Oof.
Oh no, please do not tell me I don't.
I did have Chinese food for dinner tonight.
Oh no. Sort of legal, I mean trucks moving that meat and parts have all the legal paperwork saying that it's meat, but wink wink.
Yeah.
You know what? I was told that the Chinese people, they would take cats, and if you just like cut the head and the tail and maybe the paws off, a skinned cat carcass is not dissimilar from a rabbit carcass, so they can get away with that.
Well, and there really isn't a way to, like, it's not like they have a fucking tricorder that they can scan it with and be like, oh, this is cat, not rabbit. Yeah. It's actually really hard to prove that meat is what you're claiming it is or isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, tell that to the Chinese, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't want to eat
now
fluffy.
I kind of feel bad for threatening to send Luna to my nearest Chinese restaurant whenever she was naughty. So eating McDonald's shouldn't be an option. At least down here they use real meat.
You think? I mean, it is real meat. It's just meat that's taboo to eat. Like, I don't want to eat cats or dogs. We have a different relationship with those animals.
I remember back in the day, my mom used to tell me that McDonald's meat was made out of kangaroo.
Maybe in Australia.
Oh yeah, hide binaka.
I would eat kangaroo because we don't have a domesticated relationship with kangaroos. They're largely pests.
Mm-hmm. Locally, more and more houses have been raided in several cities along the country where people collect dogs to slaughter and sell for meat. Aw. No, I don't want to eat pupper either. Let's see. What else? Another escort referred to as Liana in reports also confirmed she had multiple clients requesting her services at the event, telling the German publication Bild that sex workers often wear smart clothes so they do not stand out amidst those in attendance to the conference. There are strict controls you can't get into some hotels, Liana described, divulging some of her experience with German and American customers at the event. Unfortunately, Germans are stingy when it comes to tips, she reportedly complained, saying that she prefers it when she's contracted out by Americans and Britons. But yes. Don't think it. Don't think it.
Shut up.
Don't think it.
I wasn't thinking it until you fucking said it.
Although it isn't clear exactly how many prostitutes have arrived in Switzerland to serve clientele attending the event, the expose indicates that the figure could be hovering around the 3-figure mark. Do you think so? I think it's more.
I have no way of gauging.
Undercover reporters also claimed by the publication to have witnessed a woman enter a toilet cubicle with a man multiple times at a bar, frequented by official delegates and business executives attending the event.
In theory, I don't actually care about who's banging hookers.
Yeah.
But the two sides of it that I do care about is, one, how many of those hookers are being trafficked and not there because they're like they want to be hookers. And the other side is how many of the people that are banging hookers are people condescending to the rest of us about morality. Those two things I have a problem with. But I don't actually care who's banging hookers.
Especially since most hookers nowadays have OnlyFans.
Look, I don't have anything against hookers. I actually respect the hell out of hookers because, as I always say, they're the only kind of women that will tell you what the deal is beforehand, and that is fucking priceless in today's society. But the people in Davos, they have a fucking lounge of equality in which women talk to other women about the success and how to fight patriarchy and how to become one percenters. And then they proceed to go on and bang hookers, like, probably underage hookers, and snort coke out of their asses and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's the hypocrisy I can't stand. Like,
I mean, I'm pretty terrified of getting an STD off of a hooker.
I'm terrified of getting an STD that a hooker got from somebody at Davos.
Oh yeah, because that's like mega herb.
Yeah, I don't wanna have the same fucking STD as, I don't know, Trudeau.
That's the kind of herb you wake up the next day.
CM CEO, and ew.
You wake up the next day and you're like, dude, who planted cauliflower in my pants?
Oh
God, how will you stop it? It's fucking Evil Dead. The line from it's the same. You unzip your pants after banging a hooker in Davos, and it goes full Evil Dead 2 ending.
No, it's like the broccoli episode of Garth Marenghi.
It's a bit more obscure. Oh shit, yeah, it's like the Andromeda strain, man. You can catch a fucking Andromeda strain from those motherfuckers.
Devil's horchata STD. Oh. Now you get the gunner syphilades.
This is like the opposite of that Brandon Cronenberg movie. What was it? Antiviral or retroviral? David Cronenberg's kid he made a movie about people who want to have the same disease as celebrities. I'm the opposite. I don't want to catch the same fucking STD as a celebrity. I fucking hate them.
I don't want any diseases, period. Jesus.
I mean, if it was the disease of somebody I like, maybe.
I don't want that either.
I don't know, man. It's an interesting concept. Let's.
It's gotta hurt, man.
Hang on.
But
let's
so
let's not dismiss it so quickly.
I'll give you my diseases.
Okay. Can you mail them to me or something?
Maybe.
In a jar.
Ew! Stop! Ew!
No. Anyways, horses getting put out to pasture. Jacinda Ardern resigns as Prime Minister of New Zealand.
Yeah, into a fucking job with BlackRock.
Yep.
Wow.
She's resigning. So Jacinda Ardern has said that she's resigning in an unexpected announcement that came as she confirmed a national election for October. At the party's first caucus meeting of the year, she had no longer had enough in the tank to do the job. It's time. Quitter.
She served
Bad
her
horse.
purpose.
Bad
She served
horse.
her purpose. She's collecting her reward.
It's surprising how many people from the government immediately get a job at some huge mega corporation or investment fund. It's almost as if they're working together.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. She said, I'm leaving because with such a privileged role comes responsibility. The responsibility to know when you are the right person to lead and also when you are not. I know what this job takes, and I know that I no longer have enough in the tank to do it justice. It's that simple. I am human. Politicians are human. Doubt.
Yeah, X.
X to doubt.
Heavy
X to doubt. X. We all give it. We give all that we can for so long as we can. And then it's time. And for me, it's time. She had reflected over the summer break on whether or not she had the energy to continue in the role and concluded that she did not. And she was the youngest female head of government when she was elected prime minister in 2017 at 37. She led New Zealand through COVID pandemic, which yeah, that didn't turn out. Let's see, blah blah blah. I hope to leave New Zealanders with a belief that you can be kind but strong, empathetic but decisive, optimistic but focused, and you can be your own leader, own kind of leader, one who knows when it's time to go. She thanked her partner, not husband, but partner, Clark
If
Gayford.
if I was going out with a woman who referred to me as her partner, I would break up with her on the fucking spot.
To quote Garthenis, a partner is somebody that covers you when you break into a crack house.
Right.
And daughter Neve, who she gave birth to while holding office, as the ones that have sacrificed the most out of all of us. To Neve, Mom is looking forward to being there when you start school this year. And to Clark, let's finally get married.
Whoa. Took this long? This is a chick who, you know what, the entire time she was thinking, I might get a better deal. I might get a better deal. And now she's being put out to pasture, and she's like, well, I'm out to pasture. Have you seen the processual pictures of her over the years? Like there's a picture of her from grad school, and then a little bit later, and then a little bit later, and then a little bit later.
Not quite.
She was a pretty young lady. And I don't know, she looks like she has like some sort of anorexia, bulimia, nervosa shit going on.
Maybe. Let's see. Who will replace Ardern is not yet clear. Let's see. I think I know. They just announced it, but I don't know what his name is. Maybe it will say.
Some dude who's going to be just as bad, if not worse.
Yep, this guy. Chris Hipkins set to become new Prime Minister of New Zealand. This guy.
It's too bad. I always wanted to visit New Zealand, but I'm not fucking going there with these types of people running that place.
No. Let's see. He's the he's the Minister for Education and Policing, and one of the primary architects of the COVID response. That's all you need to know.
He's probably the guy who fucking set up the Christchurch shooting.
Kelso Breeze.
No. Sorry. In other news, ladies and gentlemen, they got her. Not. Yeah, so apparently Greta Thunberg was arrested.
In multiple takes.
Mm-hmm.
People need to understand what Greta Thunberg is. She's not just some kid, and she's not just some rich kid. She is an oligarch. She's an oligarch playing her role. She is part of the...
She's pretending to drag her off.
She's literally old Swedish money.
Yeah.
She's a puppet.
Well, that's the thing. She's not a puppet. She is not a puppet. If you think she's a puppet, you're falling for it. She might be dumb, and she kind of is, but she is an oligarch. She is royalty.
Definitely has some kind of brain damage. Like, you just have to look at her eyes, but yeah.
Fetal alcohol syndrome. Her parents were fucking
definitely.
Yeah, she
I mean,
also
she's
has a flat lip, too.
She's 20. She's 20 and she still looks like 9. That's not fucking normal.
No, that's disturbing.
I mean, what have we been making fun of royal bloodlines about for generations? Total inbreeding.
I don't know if it's inbreeding or if that, her mom is an opera singer, so maybe just like too much wine, too many.
No, that's not wine, man. That's more than that. There's definitely inbreeding going on there.
Oh shit, I don't know. Like the fucking what's his name? The Delaporte family in Sweden. Gonna go for Lovecraft on this motherfucker.
This young lady is participating in her family's plans She is an oligarch. The reason they took down Andrew Tate when they did, and maybe he is guilty of what he's being accused of, maybe he isn't, that's irrelevant. Because if he is guilty, like it's the timing is pretty fucking convenient. You don't get away with that shit in Romania unless you pay people off. And you only get away with that shit in Romania when you're paying people off, as long as it's convenient for who you're paying off. He got taken down for offending an oligarch. She is an oligarch. Understand that.
Also from Imega's neck of the woods, convicted drug lord El Chapo sends SOS message to Mexico's president from U.S. prison. Mexico's president said that he would consider request by convicted drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman to return from the United States to complete his sentence on humanitarian grounds. The message from El Chapo was described as an SOS by one of his attorneys. The Sinaloa cartel founder has appealed to President AMLO for help due to alleged psychological torment that Guzman says that he is suffering in a U.S. prison. I don't know, what do you guys think? It's either that or he's getting tapped by 7 foot tall, 350-pound Jamal.
I think he's got enough juice that Jamal knows to keep his hands off. So I don't think that that's happening. I think my opinion on El Chapo is going to evolve over time.
Yeah.
Is what I have to, because like I've moved into this position where I might rather cartels than these fucking oligarchs. Yeah. If that's the binary choice I have to make, I think I might rather cartels than these fucking oligarchs.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want about the cartels, but it's very simple. You don't mess with them, they don't mess with you.
Yeah.
It was unclear if Mexico has the power to grant the request, but the door must always be left open when it comes to human rights, he added. He's serving a life sentence at the Supermax prison in Florence, Colorado, which also has a friend of the people, Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, who may or may
right
not
about everything.
Yep. Schrodinger's Unabomber. The Boston Marathon bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. September conspirator Zacharias Moussaoui, and the Oklahoma City bombing accomplice Terry Nichols, who may or may not be totally involved or a patsy of the government. The facility is so secure, so remote, and so austere that it's been called the Alcatraz of the Rockies. And here's a purported picture. According to one of his lawyers, Guzman is unhappy with the harsh prison conditions, including isolation and lack of sunlight. The message was transmitted via one of Guzman's lawyers in the United States, as well as his family. He hopes to return to face outstanding charges and complete his sentence in Mexico under a prison agreement between the two countries. And the Mexican Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard has downplayed the chance of any government intercession in favor of Guzman, who twice escaped from jail in his home country. Like, he literally dug a hole in his jail cell. Right?
Right.
So one of his sons, Ovidio, was arrested by Mexican security forces this month. That left 29 people dead and sparked a dramatic shootout at an airport in the city of Culiacan. And they have been offering a reward up to $5 million for information leading to the arrest and or conviction of Ovidio. And he hadn't been one of, and then blah, blah, blah. He wasn't the most well-known son. But yeah. I mean, at least he's in good company. Maybe he can trade. All right. Let's see. Now, I don't know if let's talk about this first. Senator Lindsey Graham says he's tired of the shit show and that the U.S. and Germany should send tanks to Ukraine. World order is at stake. He really does look like an old lesbian.
Yeah, he can fuck right off. He was entertaining for a little while, but I'm done with him.
Yeah, I told him. I said that at this point Ukraine should just fend for itself. But yeah, Lindsey Graham, and then
I don't think it's a matter of defending Ukraine anymore. Like it's pretty clear that
It
It's
never
something
was
else.
about defending Ukraine. Which is part of what makes me wonder if Russia isn't in on the New World Order, because it set up a real convenient means for all this money laundering to happen.
yeah, well, it says that Lindsey Graham urged the U.S. and Germany to send tanks to the Ukrainian military during a visit to Kiev. I know this is they claim this is the correct way to spell Kiev, but
It became the correct way this year.
yeah. As Western defense officials meeting in Germany failed to agree on sending the weapons, blah blah blah. He visited Ukraine along with other Democratic senators, of course. Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut and Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island. The three lawmakers who have been supportive of sending additional aid to Ukraine met with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. All three of us, one Republican and two Democrats, shared the same goal for Ukraine to drive the Russians out of Ukraine. To achieve that goal, the Ukraine military needs tanks, Graham said during a press conference after the meeting and on Twitter. I'm tired of the shit show surrounding who is going to send tanks and when they're going to send them. Putin is trying to rewrite the map of Europe by force of arms. World order is at stake. I will reiterate, Ukraine should be left to its own devices. And they can't, and then again, rehash American German defense have not been able to agree on sending battle tanks to Ukraine. And because Kiev wants some German-made Leopard 2 tanks, but doing so requires Germany's approval.
Meanwhile, Americans can't afford a fucking carton of eggs.
Yeah, I mean, tax season is coming up, and I'm hesitant. I know I should do them, but
Shh, don't talk about it on air.
Don't worry, I'll still do them because I love my country, and we should help Ukraine at all costs because Russia's a bad meaty poop head. Of course, here's the president, then writing something, and then more glamour shots. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz says he does not want to authorize sending the German-made tanks to Ukraine unless the U.S. sends its own tanks, according to several reports. They also want M1 Abrams tanks, but Sleepy Joe has avoided doing so. And then, let's see. They met on Germany on Friday, and they got criticism from Ukraine and Poland. And Poland said that they may even send their Leopard tanks without Berlin's approval. You know, that's funny. It's like Germany is trying to be the US of Europe.
Or is the U.S. being turned into the Germany of the West?
I
think that we're certainly overcome with the same problem.
Okay, well, let's. So, this we should talk about, but there's a lot to go through. Unfortunately, which probably requires its own separate stream.
Oh, this that we
Yeah.
all fucking knew was going on and was the entire purpose of
Yeah.
people wanting to
But-
do this.
But the short of this, these two guys adopted these two kids from a Christian uh, adoption agency that handles like special needs kids.
I want to let's go back in time. Let's go back in time real quick. Let's go back in time because I used to be Catholic, and this is a significant role in why I stopped being Catholic.
All
Do you
right.
recall? Do you recall the scandal in the Catholic Church?
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
one?
I also remember in my old state we had the guy Rembert Weekland.
I don't know what Rembert Weekland is. What's that?
He was like, I think either he was like a higher up in the Catholic Church in Wisconsin, and he decided to do a bit of bad touching,
Yeah. So
and
all
they
these
moved
priests,
him around.
all these priests that were doing the bad touching, they were men, right? They were male,
Yep.
and they were exclusively abusing boys, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That makes them what?
Heads.
That makes them gay. The Catholic Church was overrun by gay men who saw a power structure that they could subvert and use to abuse young boys, and that's what they did. It was a gay pedophile scandal, and it never got called that, but that's what it was. The power structure has changed. The Catholic Church doesn't have the power that it had before that scandal. Now the rainbow flag has that power. So they're just going with that now, and they've got the same fucking intentions. Wish it weren't true, but it is.
Yeah.
Harry
the
Hay, everybody. Harry Hay.
disgusting individual.
Look
And the
him up.
Mattachine Society. But yeah, these are an affluent activist couple, and they were doing pretty bad things to their adopted sons.
We were told this isn't happening.
Yep.
These are the people who put themselves in the leadership positions of gay culture. These are the people who make themselves be shot callers. And those two guys weren't alone. They were prostituting their special needs adopted children out. That
Yep.
means that there are a whole bunch of other people involved. I want their fucking names, every single one of them.
Well, let me scroll down because we got a couple. So, let's see. What's his name? One was a government worker, and the other one was a banker.
They seek positions of power. They seek positions of control.
And this guy, he also had a history of this.
These are the compliant people, and this is why they're compliant. Get it?
And so they're wondering
Banaka.
why did they get why were they allowed to adopt these two little guys?
Because they would complain if they weren't,
But,
and they would call people bigots if they weren't.
Yep.
I just want to.
Okay.
Banaka is correct. Vlad Tepes was right.
Yep. Then, well, here's another guy that was involved. His name is 27-year-old Hunter Clay Lawless and 25-year-old Luis Armando Vizcarro Sanchez. This guy.
Why you?
And this guy, he actually snitched on them.
After he had his supply.
Yep. He told local law enforcement he received numerous messages via Snapchat from Zachary about doing terrible things to his son tonight and to be prepared to receive images as well as videos.
He got afraid that this guy's reckless behavior was going to get him caught, so he snitched. That's why.
Yeah.
He didn't do it because he's a good person. He
Yeah.
participated in this.
Yeah, he said Zachary met Lawless through a mutual contact, an identified man going only by the first name Blake on the gay dating app Grindr. And then Zachary sent photographs and videos to Lawless of the little boy. And then he says, I'm going to, yeah. And then he sent pictures.
Yeah.
After he was busted, Lawless denied having any physical contact with the boys, but told law enforcement officers that Zachary invited him multiple times to engage in acts with him and his two children.
Banaka says, think about it. These guys had a circle of friends who are fine with this type of abuse. This is somewhat normal in their community. Remember, one of my best friends when I was in high school, I think I've told this story before, eventually came out as gay, and it turned out that in high school he had been sneaking out to the city to go get banged in gay clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
This is
that actually cost Milo a book deal, because he explained how it was like he got initiated into the whole gay world by an older guy when he was a teenager, and he said, "Yeah, that is normal. That's how it goes." And everybody accused him of defending pedophilia, which is arguable that he did, but I don't think that's what he was saying. It's just how it goes.
It's all propped up by middle-class women who want social media likes for waving a rainbow flag.
Mm-hmm.
They demonize everyone who says that this is going on.
This is terrible. This is like their adoption. This is a picture from like their adoption shower. He's holding up like a shirt that says "So cool like Dad."
They also tortured their kids.
Yeah.
They also tortured them.
But
But I was told this isn't happening.
yeah, this is all fake news. Fake news.
This isn't just two people. This is two people and their entire circle and everyone around them that props them up.
Mm-hmm. And here's the Instagram and Snapchat.
This is the heart of your compliant population, and this
Yep.
is how compliance is purchased.
This is where this is where they lived. They literally lived in a mansion. It's BS that they took our house. A frustrated William stuck in Walton County Jail protested via an hour-long phone call with the Zulak family insider. They feed
this
the house and
cocksucker in
everything
Gen
inside
Pop.
of it, and all our
Put him in fucking Gen Pop.
Mhm. And all of our cars on the property. Yep.
Put them in Gen Pop. This problem will resolve itself.
Right. And we're gonna I'm gonna zoom past this, but they already censored it, but it's one of the guys naked on a beach. But of course they censored it, but I'm gonna zoom past and not show you. And that's
It's
the
an
William.
epidemic.
Yep.
It's a big problem.
Here
A
they are.
pandemic,
both
if you
out.
will.
Let's
It's
see.
a bigger problem than I ever realized it was, and I still don't think I realized what a big fucking problem it is.
Yeah, here's what they have. Here's their Love is love neon sign, and then the love above all rainbow pillows and a Mickey Mouse.
Remember what people said love is love meant? We were told it didn't mean that. Yeah, this is what they're signaling.
Mm-hmm.
These people
There's
are
no.
also the one who say that love doesn't have any age.
Yep.
Yep, yep.
What is it?
Right.
Love
Love
knows
has
no
They
number.
were like, love doesn't know any color or gender or race or age. And when
yeah.
they say age, you could almost hear the record scratch.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? Doesn't have what? Yeah, doesn't. Oh, yeah, no, that's not what I mean. Is it not?
And then the Zach guy he posts this. It's okay if you're not ready yet.
God damn it!
And then here's their front door.
Yes, yes, it is. That is the gayest place in town. That is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Figure it out.
Yeah, our business. Yeah, here's their excuse. Our business is our business. What happens in our home stays in our home.
That's exactly what abusers say. That's exactly what abusers say.
Mm-hmm. Oh, as punishment during after-school hours, the boys were forced to stand in a corner for 8 hours straight over back-to-back days, only being allowed to move to either eat or use the bathroom.
Jesus.
And
Yeah.
then William was also witnessed slapping their younger son in the face.
That is how you make them compliant by
Mm-hmm.
putting that. That's like a exercise to wear them down, because what kid can handle standing still for 8 hours?
He also said, and then the Zachary guy, no, the relative, wait, hold on. Zachary says, I mean, yeah, but I definitely can't talk about that. But I mean, yeah, and then I'm concerned about the house and everything because nothing's been paid. Nothing's being paid. Obviously, because I'm here, the longer things that go on, the worse all that gets.
They're concerned about the house, not the kids. They're
Mm-hmm.
concerned about the house.
Yep,
This is what a
right here.
materialistic culture
That
turns
was
you into.
that was Zachary. Here's William. William is concerned as well about bills and monthly expensive. We have like subscription stuff that needs to be canceled. Disney Plus, Amazon Video, all that needs to be canceled because it's auto hitting our credit card.
You're never getting out. You're never seeing that money again. You're never seeing those credit cards again. You're never seeing that house again, guy.
Yeah, the boys were just another commodity to them.
Yep.
Shame.
That is the thing with gay adoption, is that it seems like it's the same thing as those chicks that want to adopt Asian babies. It's a commodity. It's a status symbol. It's a Jesus. That's a generous thing to even describe the way they see them as.
Look, two chandeliers and like a closed patio. Well, it's a sunroom. Let's see. Then here are these disgusting fucks with their rainbow shirt. Their rainbow shirts. And pride suspenders. And of course, rainbows. And that's only part one. If we could go through all 4 parts, that would be its own separate stream.
Rackets has been doing like a episode per part.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's that much to it.
Yeah.
Speaking about Rackets, he's gonna get Kyle Rittenhouse this Tuesday.
Cool.
Say that again.
He's gonna have Kyle Rittenhouse this Tuesday night.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's good.
4 doors,
the guy
more whores, baby. And finally, one last little story. Grandma 72 killed by 26,000-pound falling Denny sign had picked husband up from hospice just before freak accident.
That's sad.
Yeah.
So, Lillian Mae Curtis, a grandmother from Kentucky. Yes, this sounds like an event that could only happen in Kentucky or some other southern state. Died on Thursday afternoon in a freak accident that also injured her daughter and husband, who they picked up from hospice care. So he's dying, and then they decide to get a grand slam, and they got it.
Oh, I see what you did there. Grand
Yep.
Slam. That's ironic.
It's it's sad, but you gotta. It's the irony. You gotta appreciate the irony.
Very clever, very clever.
Mhm. But yeah. So the police believe that the strong winds blew the sign from its post, causing it to fall on top of the car that was in the parking lot. Lillian had picked up Lloyd Eugene Curtis from the University of Louisville hospital with their daughter Mary before tragedy struck. He was recovering from heart surgery at the hospital and was on hospice and given 3 months to live. Oh,
Okay.
it's definitely not something you can truly wrap your mind around, said Graham's daughter Mary Howard. So she was sitting in the back seat of the vehicle when she was struck by fatal injuries by the sign. She was raced to the hospital where she succumbed to her injuries. Um, let's see. Let's see. Said Graham's daughter Mary Howard. Okay. I don't know that the shock has worn off, other than the fact that we're going home and life is going to continue without her. Howard's mother has 5 broken ribs and a concussion. She's being treated at U of L, and Lloyd is receiving inpatient therapy at Jewish Hospital. And yeah, she declared dead due to catastrophic head injury.
Why do you think that's funny?
Why are we all laughing? We're all
I'm laughing at-
why?
I'm laughing at Jez laughing. I'm not laughing at the old lady.
I'm
laughing
laughing at
Jez.
you laughing at just laughing.
I mean, it just appeals to my dark humor. Okay?
Whose grandmother do you hate? Which of your grandmothers do you hate the most?
None of them. I don't hate any of my grandmothers.
I hate
Oh,
my
okay.
grandmother.
Oh,
Midnight. Just for the record.
Nah, not really.
Just record. Just humor is so black that it can rule Wakanda.
Yeah. My humor is so black it gets shot by the cops.
your humor is so.
You know what they say about dark humor? It's like food. Some people just don't get it.
Yep. But anyways, the family has set up a GoFundMe to raise money for the grandmother's memorial service. Then there's more pictures of the sign on the car. I mean, she seems like a sweet.
I mean,
she
she could have
seems
been a
like-
raging bitch, but you know.
Yeah, she seems like a nice old lady, but I
that's
mean,
not the word for it.
did she deserve this death? No, but it's just darkly funny that death came like this. That's why I made the Grand Slam joke. I mean, there's like they should have went to Waffle House.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, they should have went to Waffle House. Okay. Sorry, it's just the dark humor. I just thought I just had to toss that story in because it's sad but funny at the same time.
On another
Anyway.
note, I thought it was Ohio, the freaky state, the state for freaky happenings and freaky people.
Uh,
Not Kentucky, but I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Well, Ohio does border Kentucky, so maybe it
Mm.
overlaps. Anyways, it's time to go. What y'all got going? What y'all got planned for this week?
I have a
Well,
busy as fuck week. I'm probably not going to get much work on Midnight Chrome done as much as I'd like to.
what about the 1 minute shorts?
I'm breaking my balls on them, but I'm wrestling with Midjourney to get the images that I want.
Hmm. All right, Canales. What about you?
Well, I'm just gonna draw. I'm busy drawing the Ace Volume 3. What else? I'm also drawing Gentleman's Guild for Derek Fury. Yeah, and I always remember that Raw from War Campaign told me, sent me a mail once telling me that he may have something down the road for me. So I'm just
Yeah,
expectant on that as well.
waiting on that.
It's gonna be good because Roy is a fucking character unto himself. So I just want to see what he can write.
And and Mega, what you got going on?
Pretty much like analysis, I have to draw a lot of stuff, which is good because one of my clients got a bonus in his job, a promotion. That means more money for me. And what else? My mom's birthday is coming the upcoming week.
Well,
So
happy birthday, and Meg Mama,
yeah, I
Did
met
you
a
did
mama.
you get her something good?
and Mega Mama.
Yeah.
Nice.
What did you get her?
It's a surprise.
Yeah, if she
Oh.
listens, he can't say.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, then keep your secrets. And on that note, everyone say your goodbyes. This has been another episode of Awful Goodness. We will see you next Sunday.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Adios.